Hey guys, Curry here, and today, with 2K18 closing, I'm going to revisit 2K17. And NBA 2K18 servers are closing down on the 31st of December this year, which no one really liked 2K18. Everyone knew during 2K18's life cycle that it was going to be the worst 2K of all time. But the year before, they were calling 2K17 the worst 2K of all time. And now I hear people calling it the best 2K of all time, over 16 and 11. And I just don't agree with that at all. Even though this is my first 2K and I have a special place in my heart, I would have positive bias towards it, but there was so many problems with this game. This was the most broken 2K of all time. 2K18 was the worst because it was boring, but this just had the most glitches. And the first thing is this move I'm about to do in the game. The spin move, the post up into an aggressive take, was just so overpowered. I won so many games against the AI just by doing that on Hall of Fame difficulty. And bump seals were a huge thing at the time. It's still a problem now, but it's not that big of a problem. It was much worse in 2K17. And Park After Dark, that was a big thing. That it was a huge hyped up event, if you didn't know, during the 2K17 life cycle, and it just flopped so bad. And also, before I go on, these player models are horrible. Kevin Durant, even though he was skinny at the time, he was just way too skinny. He had no muscle definition in 2K17. And if you can see on his neck, that's supposed to be sweat, but it makes everyone look like action figures, as some people would say. It just makes them look like really skinny action figures, because their body proportions were just so off. Stephen Curry wasn't this skinny, LeBron wasn't that skinny, and KD had more muscles. But yeah, there was Park After Dark. Everyone crashed. I don't think a single person got a game in, and if they did, it was unplayable because it was so bad. These menus were uninspiring, and I know there were more when the servers were up, but this just tells how bad it was. In 2K16, there was 3D backgrounds, which made it, more inspiring, and you can just tell that they didn't put any effort in. All of these were uninspired and bland, with only 2 or 3 textures and colors. A Paul George loading screen was the most infamous thing to come out of 2K17 by far. I'm surprised I haven't mentioned it yet. Basically, whenever you loaded into 2K17, it took a minimum 10 to 15 minutes to fully load in, and Paul George was there with the title of the game. And if you think of 2K17, you definitely think of the Paul George loading screen. In addition, the AI was horrible. They said in 2K16 that they're going to fix the AI and that they're going to make the AI good and competitive, but they never did. It was just as bad as every other year before, maybe even worse. When it comes to drawing charges, I remember during online My Team games and My Career games and on the park, you would get sucked into charging fouls if you were the ball handler. Pretty much just get sucked in, even though it was 5 feet away from you. It was the most annoying thing. And the gameplay was extremely cheese when it comes to, the charges and the brick walls and the centers shooting like sharpshooters. And yeah, pretty much the gameplay was bad. And My Team, I remember playing a lot of My Team back then, and there was just no content for My Team as well. There was a few challenges and a few, locker codes every once in a while, but pretty much they just left anything in the My Team to stay. They didn't really change anything in My Team. They didn't really add anything new throughout the year, despite a few promotions. Mentioned all the negatives, I should start with the positives. First, the park was as good as it's ever been, and I don't think any 2K here on in will rival it, due to the fact that they removed park affiliations, which was a big part in why 2K17 was the best My Park ever. In addition, the community at the time was lit. I'm not gonna lie, I've had so much fun looking at old YouTube videos from 2K17. It was just different than 2K18, 19, 20, and so on. Because a lot of people just were interested in the game. There wasn't any drama back then, and a lot of people were just having fun creating content. And for my last point, it just flowed nice. Like, the gameplay, even though the gameplay was bad, the game speed was fun. It was enjoyable. And I think we took that for granted until the end of 2K18, where we finally realized that game speed was way too slow, and we needed a faster paced basketball game. In addition, another great thing about 2K17 was the soundtrack. The soundtrack was just so nice. I loved almost every song on it, and it just flowed so nicely together. It just gave me a really nice vibe. And another good thing about 2K17, well, I guess it wasn't really good, but it was funny at the time, and it's funny now, is Ronnie promising us Yeezys and underwater parks. If you don't know, Ronnie basically went on 2K TV and said that we would soon be getting underwater parks and Yeezys in 2K17, which gave a lot of people false hope and obviously didn't come true. And I can definitely say this is the start of Ronnie feeding us lies. And that's the end of the video. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. It means a lot to me to see if you guys are liking this content. And yeah, have a good day, and I'll see you guys in the next video.